Hey, happy Friday, everyone. How's everyone doing? Excited that the weekend is here? So I'm going to get started. My topic is organizing your Beachbody business. I'm going to give it like a minute, see if at least I get one viewer at least. I'm live. Is everyone excited that the weekend is here? All right, I'm gonna get started, and then, you guys can always just go back and listen, right? So I think I have to look at down here. But anyway, so I have notes for you, so make sure that you have a pen and paper ready, your notebook ready, so that, yay, I have a viewer, so that you can take tons of notes. I'm hoping that this is totally helpful for every single one of you guys. Maybe not everyone here struggles with organization or time management, but I'm sure that many do. So I know that this is going to be helpful for many of you. So I just want to give a quick background about this topic. So when I looked at the topic that I had to speak on, I actually cringed. And I cringed because, guys, this is actually not my strength. This is like my biggest struggle in my business, and it is actually one of my biggest weaknesses. And so, of course, when I saw that I was speaking on organizing my Beachbody business, I thought, holy moly, this is super ironic, right? But you know what? I figured that, hey, I'm getting love. Hi, guys. So the reason I think that I am actually the perfect person to speak about this is because you can relate to me. You can actually relate to the struggles. And I know exactly what many of you are going through. Hola, Marlene. How are you? So, you can really, really relate to that part of, feeling like you're a mess. So this might actually come to a surprise to many of you because I'm actually an emerald at heart. Hi, Mariel. Well, take some notes, girl. So basically, guys, I'm an emerald at heart. So you would think Gabby has it all together. But what you don't know is that my mind is of a sapphire. And if we have sapphires here, I'm pretty sure we have a ton of sapphires in here. Our mind is everywhere. We want to do this and we want to do that. You start one thing and you don't finish it because you jump into the next thing. You're a multitasker, right? Or we think we are. And so that's what I've struggled for 2.5 years. I've struggled with being all over the place, allowing my mind to take over. So I think that this is actually the perfect topic for me. So first, I have a lot of notes because I want to give you the best of me. All right. So the first thing I want you to know is that I am a mom. All right. I'm actually a full-time stay-at-home mom. And prior to that, I was in human resources. So you can actually think, Gabby had it all together at work. And I actually did. I was super organized. My time management skills were on point. They had to be. So when I became a stay-at-home mom, it doesn't come with a booklet, right? It doesn't come with instructions. I was all over the place. Then I added to that, well, I was already a wife, but I added to that my Beachbody business. And so now I was really all over the place, right? And many of you guys don't know this, but I'm actually also my family's secretary. A lot of you might be able to relate to that. I'm the one who takes my mom and my dad to all their doctor's appointments. I'm the one who sets them up. I'm the one who's actually doing a lot of the family things, kind of just organizing all of that. So it's a lot on my plate. And as you can imagine, it's overwhelming. It feels overwhelming. It feels like, it's never ending and that you can't finish one thing to add to the next. I work off of a list and I feel like, things come off and like 10 more things come on. So if you feel that way, this call is for you. All right. So the first thing I want to mention, guys, is that, again, I've been a Team Beachbody coach for 2.5 years, and I didn't start to tackle this until a year and 9 months in. A year and 9 months in. So don't think it's too late for you. Don't think that, that you will never get it together, because guess what? There's always time to get it together, and this is the right time for you to do it. All right. So let's see what I have here for you. So the first thing I want is for everyone here to agree that in order for a Beachbody business to work, to be successful, to be effective, we have to treat it like a six-figure business, or actually we should treat it like $1 million business, because that's actually what it is, right? So let's agree that that's what we're going to do moving forward. So I'm going to give you 5 tips that I'm actually putting and going through the motions of putting it into practice in my life today. I actually started doing this as of January of this year. So as I was mentioning before, for those that are hopping on, that I actually struggle with organization. And so this is the best topic that I could have gotten, because of the fact that, you guys can relate to me, and I'm going through the motions of getting organized. And so I know what it is that it takes to get yourself organized. So I'm going to give you 5 tips. The first one is ask for help. Ask for help. First, we have to recognize, right, that we struggle with it. First, we have to recognize that it is a weakness of ours, right? So now that you've recognized that, now it's time to ask for help. And who are we going to ask help from? We're going to ask help from our spouses, if we're married, our significant others, our family members, all right? So it's time for you to sit down with them and really just say, all right, if you don't speak and tell them what it is that is on your mind and in your heart, they won't know. They can't read your mind. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way. So I definitely suggest that you definitely sit down with your spouses, your family members, and ask for help. What do I suggest you do? You tell them, you know what? I really believe in Beachbody. I really believe that this business can do X, Y, and Z for us. Paint the vision for them. Give them your why, which is important to have your why, right? Because if you don't have your why, then you don't have that motivation and that oomph to do whatever it takes. So you sit them down, you tell them, listen, I need you to give me, all right, I need you to give me, X, Y, and Z time frame, so that you can definitely see results, right? Things like, for example, ask for your husband or your wife to maybe take over dinner times, right? Maybe put your kids to sleep 3 times a week, so that this way you can jump on team calls. You can do your own team calls. You can do your power hour. Whatever it is that you decide to do with that time, you utilize it appropriately, but you utilize it, right? So ask for help. So just ask for people to take things off your plate so that you're able to put on Beachbody, work in there. All right. The other thing that I would definitely do is, if you have a success partner, or maybe you don't have one, look for a success partner that basically is organized, someone that has that strength. I'm not saying here to take advantage of your success partner, not at all. What I am saying is that it's a give and take type of relationship. So their weaknesses should be your strength, and vice versa, because if you share the same weaknesses, guys, you're not moving anywhere together. So for example, my success partner, she's great at organization and time management, and she keeps me in check. She's been keeping me in check for almost 2 years now, right? So her weakness is volume and placement. So I help her with that. So it has to be a give and take. So make sure that you're either looking for a success partner that can compensate that weakness, and that you can bring something in return to the table. And Or, see if your success partner has that strength. Talk to them about it. This is what I'm struggling with. The other piece to that is talk to your upline. Maybe your upline is awesome at organization. Talk to a team member on your team or across teams. Doesn't matter. Ask for help. Someone is bound to help you, and there's a ton of people who have those skills. All right. For example, I said earlier, in this live feed that I started tackling this weakness of mine at the beginning of this year. So I reached out to all of the resources around me. So what did I do? I reached out to my upline coach. I'm working with Audrey on this because I need all the support that I can get. So make sure that you are reaching up to your upline or your sponsoring coach or your, teammates and all that greatness. All right. Then the other piece to this is invest in yourself. Reinvest in your business. 10%, if you've listened to the compound effect, and I'm hoping that if you in here, you already have listened to that compound effect, that book, either audio, read it a couple of times, right? So Darren Hardy talks about reinvesting in yourself. 10% of your income, putting it back into yourself. And when you do that, you are going to see extreme results. You're going to see amazing results because the best investment is in yourself. So since the beginning of the year, not that I haven't been investing in myself the year prior to that. However, what my husband and I decided this year was that we were going to go all in on PD, no matter what. We definitely went all in, meaning we are going to events since the beginning of the year. So I've invested in going to courses, right? Personally, I love Danny Johnson. I'm not trying to promote her, but it's helped me. It's helped me, come to terms with my weaknesses, and one of them is organization. And so definitely investing in myself and going to these seminars and going to these live events, which is why it's important to go to events, Super Saturday, Summit, trainings that are put together by the New York City Market Council, right? You are going to meet people that are like-minded. You are going to be connected with the right resources so that you can continue to grow in this business. So definitely reinvesting in yourself. What I've done is, as I said, I've been going to seminars. The other thing that I've been doing for a few months now is that I've invested in a business coach, someone that can help me with organization, with systems, because I knew to recognize that, guess what? I need help. I need the help. We can't do it by ourselves. That's why this is a team effort. All right, so definitely ask for help. The second tip, and I want to keep my time to half an hour. So the second tip is work from your to-do list. This is something that was super difficult for me to do. While I do a to-do list, not what I'm talking about here is really sticking to the to-do list. So I'm talking about scheduling it into your calendar. So for example, from the very moment, you wake up, if you gotta put your alarm on, and that's on your calendar already, 5 a.m., rise, right? And you're putting in your PD time. From what time to what time you're doing your PD time. You're putting in your workout. You're scheduling everything like a CEO does. Schedule your workout. Schedule your power hour. What I've done for my team is that I've put together a list, and I've collaborated with my success partner, and it is a to-do list step by step on what they need to do in that 1 hour to-do list. And that has been so helpful for them. All right. Schedule the time that you're going to be recognizing your team and your challengers when you're doing those check-ins, right? I schedule things like my shower. I schedule things like breakfast, lunches, dinner, everything. Everything is in there because if I don't schedule it, then I'm all over the place. Remember, my mind is like a sapphire. By the way, if you don't know where your gem is, I recommend that you reach out to your upline coach and ask them to give you the link to complete, because this will help you recognize why it is that you struggle with certain things. All right? So I have in there my family time. I have my hubby time. I have my God time, right? I have my me time. I have my team calls in there. I have, anything that I'm doing in terms of trainings is in there. Any of my coaching sessions, whether I'm coaching someone or I'm being coached, is all in there. Because if it's not there, it's not happening. That's just the way my mind works. So make sure that you are working from a to-do list. Make sure that you are definitely putting everything step by step and you stick to it. You know what? One of the things that I definitely have been learning for 2.5 years is that you have to make sacrifices, right? If you have to sleep less, then you sleep less. What's the big deal? If you got to go to bed a little later, then you go to sleep a little later. The bottom line is that sacrificing has to take place at some point in your business in order for you to move your business forward. So, the other thing that I've sacrificed with my husband, we haven't watched TV in, gosh, ages. Like, I want to say like more than a year. I mean, literally, probably like a year and a half. We don't miss it. We don't need it. And guess what? TV's not moving my business forward. It won't move yours forward either. So you have to definitely sacrifice. The other thing is that, if you're waking up earlier, the way that our mind works is I'm not a morning person, right? And so what I had to do, guys, is I had to inch myself into it. I didn't just jump in and freaked out about it, right? So I used to wake up 8, 9 o'clock. I'm a stay-at-home mom. My son, before he started school, he was sleeping in with me. No big deal, right? No big deal, because guess what? When I woke up, he woke up, and then now I lost a bunch of hours that I could have been doing work for my business. So I inch into it. Instead of waking up right at 5 in the morning, I started, with 7 o'clock. That worked for me. I did it for a week. And then the following week, once I had, I had mastered that, I went to 6:30 in the morning, and then I went to 6 in the morning, and so on and so forth. The idea is that you practice it, that you get it down packed. All right. What else? All right. So basically that, work from your to-do list. Make sure that everything is scheduled. Like every minute of your day is scheduled, because you want to own your day. You don't want your day to own you. All right. The last thing that you want is for your family to resent this business because you're not spending time with them. The last thing you want is for yourself to resent this business. And for mommies or daddies, the one thing you don't want, guys, is to have guilt over not spending time with your kids. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I haven't been there, because I have. It's the worst feeling to know that you're building this business for your family, but what happens when you get here and your family's gone? So make sure that you are spending time with your family, and if it's family time, it's family time. No phones, in the kitchen table or your dinner table. No phone when you're playing with your kid. No phone when you're on a date with your hubby. All right. So make sure that you're respecting their time, so that when you are doing Beachbody time, they respect yours. All right. All right. What else? Organize your month. So organizing your month is definitely something that you want to do. And first I mentioned calendar. That's your day. You're organizing every hour, every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes. You're scheduling that in. But now it's organizing your month. And by organizing your month, I mean know when you are advertising for your free group if you're running free groups, right? Know when you're advertising for your challenge groups. Know when you're advertising for your your Coach Basics group, right? Make sure that you know when you're running those. Make sure you know when your start date is for your free groups, when your start date is for your challenge group, when your start date is for your Coach Basics. In my calendar, my team knows when our team calls are scheduled. My team knows when we're starting Coach Basics. events, team events, right? If we're doing a fit club, is in the calendar. If we have Super Saturday, is in the calendar. If we have trainings coming up, it's in the calendar. Make sure that your calendar is already planned ahead. So if you're finishing September, October should be planned, so that when you're scheduling your days, you know already what's happening. You know how to advertise. You know how to help your team do the same. So I'm going to just go back and reiterate. Ask for help. That's number one. Number two, work from your to-do list. Schedule in your calendar, minute by minute, hour by hour, all right? Then organize your month. That's the third one. Work from a calendar that is already organized for you. All right. Tip number 4, eat that frog. If you haven't read that book, I recommend you do. It's by Brian Tracy, and it's definitely going to put things into perspective. As humans, we leave the hardest things, the things that we don't like doing, for last, and then they never get done because we run out of time. So we do the things we enjoy, we do the sexy things, but we never do the things that we despise, or the things that make us feel uncomfortable, or the things that force us to get out of our comfort zone. Those things we leave for last all the time. And what happens? You never get around to them. So eat that frog, guys. So my most productive mornings, or days I should say, are the days that I wake up and work out first. Period. No questions asked, because you feel accomplished, because you feel energized, and then you're ready to just really tackle the day and conquer the world. So make sure that the things that are hardest for you, you do. Many people, it's not a surprise. I don't like working out. I do it because it's part of the business. It's one of the vital behaviors. I have to be proof the product works. So if I'm not being proof the product works, how do I attract people? How do I talk to people about Beachbody programs and Shakeology? Then I would be a hypocrite, right? That's why we have to drink our Shakeology. We have to be on the performance line so that we're able to speak about it. We're able to, we have to do our Beachbody programs, especially when there's a new release coming up, like Core the Force, right? What happens with that? We want to be the first person on our team to purchase that program. Why? Because we're leading by example. We're going to show people that Beachbody programs do work, and it starts here. So make sure that things that you love to procrastinate, whether they're business related or not, you make it happen first. Because let's say you hate doing laundry, for example, or you hate cleaning, for example, right? Get that over with so that it's not here taking time in your mind, as opposed to you utilizing your mind to work your business, as opposed to you utilizing your mind to do personal development, right? So make sure that you are doing the things that you like to procrastinate. Do the things that you love to put off. Do the things that are unsexy. Many of you struggle with invitation because you feel a certain way, right? Do that first. Do your power hour first. So if you have to wake up in the morning, do your workout, and then do your power hour, boom, done. You've worked your business. How amazing is that, right? So once you do these things, you feel good, you feel accomplished, you feel powerful, and then the rest is history, because then you're banging things out. So eat that frog. That is my 4th tip. All right. And then my 5th tip is duplicate, guys. Duplicate, make it simple. It's like that acronym KISS, right? Keep it simple, silly. Literally, this is whatever is working for me, I share with my team. If I posted something and I'm getting a lot of, attention to it, I say, hey, this post worked for me. You should try to maybe tweak it. Obviously, they have to make it their own and post that. Pick one of your pictures and boom, post that. Or all of my trainings, right? Duplicate that. If it's working for you, give it to them. What else do I? Calendar. I have sapphires on my team, and so as I put my calendar together, I had to say, look, this is working for me, and this is how I schedule my calendar. Take a look at it. You know, this may work for you. So make their lives easier. Duplicate your calendar. Sorry. All right, so definitely duplicate whatever is working for you. Make sure that you're giving it to them. If it's trainings, if it's content for sneak peeks, for trainings, you know, maybe push to Emerald groups. What else? Oh, another one that I did that I kind of mentioned earlier is a to-do list, a power hour to-do list. That is the easiest thing to just give to your coaches. That has saved a lot of my coaches' time, because sometimes we hear power hour and it's intimidating and you don't even know, like, what should I be doing in that hour? Well, I created a to-do list for them, and guess what? It's like boom, boom. They know exactly what they need to do to move their business forward. And that has kept them, you know, organized. They know exactly what they need to do in that focused hour. They're intentional about it, and then they get it together. All right. And then videos, guys. So one thing I started doing as well is videos. So when I have a new coach and they ask me something, I go and I create a video. How to do X, Y, and Z, how to do this, how to do that. And then I just give it to them and I send that to them. And then the next coach that I sign up that has the same question, guess what? I'm sending that over to them. I'm sending that over, you know, to the next person. It's going to save you time. It's going to save you energy, and it's going to keep you organized. And now you also have a library full of videos that is going to help train your coaches. It's going to give them the power of duplication, because now they can do the same. They can either utilize that and pass it on to their coaches, or they can, you know, duplicate that. Make it simple. If you're overcomplicating things and you're making things where someone is intimidated by it, right? So my videos are simple. It's me. I'm, you know, pressing play. Boom. You know, I'm saying what I gotta say, and then I stop it, right? But if you're doing this whole big, you know, movie set, a lot of people are going to be intimidated by that, and they might say, you know what, I can't do what Gabby does. So make sure that you're doing the things that that are simple for people to duplicate. All right. So I'm gonna go back really quickly. Ask for help. Work from your to-do list. Schedule everything in your calendar, from the moment you wake up to the moment you eat breakfast, to the moment you work out, to the moment you shower, spend time with your family, all of that. All right. Make sure that you are organizing your month ahead of time. Make sure that you are, you know, that you know where you're going to be throughout the entire month and where your team needs to be for the entire month. Number 4, Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. All right. If you haven't gotten that book, make sure that you get it, that you get on it. And then duplicate. The power of duplication is everything. You are going to be successful in this business when your coaches do exactly what you do. That's the bottom line. You teach your coaches to do what you're doing, and you will be successful. Guys, the last thing I want to mention, because I want to be respectful of your time, is that make sure, I mean, this is a huge one for me. Just reinvest in your business. I think that has really helped me continue to grow. We talk about personal development all the time, and it really does work. You know, not only are you reinvesting in yourself, but the other thing that you want to do is reinvest in your business. Things like, for example, you know, I know that many of you are mommies. If you stay home, this is something for those mommies that are home. You know, maybe invest in dropping off your son or daughter to a 2-hour class, right? I did that. And what did I do? I stayed right outside. I didn't come back home. I stayed right outside, you know, waiting for him, and I would just bang out some follow-ups, or I would bang out my invites, right? You have to utilize your time efficiently. And what you want to do is that you want to write down, okay, my son is going to be in this class for an hour and a half. So you know what? I'm going to do X, Y, and Z while I'm waiting for him. So that, and you're not feeling guilty about it. He's playing. He's socializing with other kids. It's important for his growth, right? So do that. Make sure that you come prepared and you bang those things out. don't go there and start, scrolling through Facebook, because then now you've like literally spent or wasted an hour and a half that you could have been moving your business forward. The other thing that you can reinvest back in your business to take things off your plate, because maybe you don't have a supportive spouse. That's just the reality of things, right? So guess what? Reinvest back in your business by maybe taking the laundry so somebody can do it for you, so you don't have to spend hours doing laundry. Invest in that, right? What else? Invest in maybe having someone come and help you with cleaning, so you don't spend, hours cleaning, and now you reinvest it, use that time for your business. So there's so many different things that you can do to make it work, right? I know that for people who are full-time employees, you have to sacrifice maybe your lunch break. It is what it is. If you want this business to work, you got to find every pocket of time for you to move your business forward. And if that's, like I said, waking up early and sacrificing and getting maybe half hour of your power hour in there because you had to do your workout and your PD as well, then do the next half hour, during your lunchtime, right? And same thing, if you're a working parent, maybe put your kids in any type of activity. Don't feel guilty. Kids love activities. They love to be part of something. They love to be, and besides, it's teaching them interpersonal skills. So there's different ways that you can do, basically not feel guilty as a parent while your kids are doing something and they're doing something productive, so that they're not, you're robbing them time. You don't want that. You don't want to do that. This business is here to provide freedom of time, freedom of financials, and the bottom line is that if we are feeling guilty about it, it's because we're not planning accordingly. So make sure that this business is serving you the way it should. Make sure that you're spending your time where you should be spending it when you say you're going to spend it. That's all, guys, I have for you. It is 12:35. Does anyone have any questions? I actually schedule this when Matias is in class. He's in school now. He goes to school Monday, Wednesday, Fridays from 8:45 to 1 p.m. So you best believe that's the time I'm working my Beachbody business. That's the time, I'm speaking to maybe prospects or, future coaches, or doing my power hour. And this is why I schedule this call during that time. I have to pick him up at 1 p.m., so I have to leave in 10 minutes. But let me know if you have any questions. Awesome, Katie. I won't, Saudi. I'll actually upload it on my YouTube channel as well. Anyone has any questions? If not, feel free to drop the questions here. I'll come back after I pick up Matias from school, and I'll check in to see if you guys had any questions. And yeah, and that's basically it. I was happy to, I'm very happy to have been able to share what's working for me, what I'm implementing right now. Don't be scared to just do it. At the end of the day, this is what it's about. Are you going to fail at first? Yeah. There are days that I feel like I didn't do anything because I allow my my sapphire-ish tendencies to take control. But guess what? Then I get back into it. Because if you allow that one moment to take over your day, then your day goes to shit. Period. And so you don't want to do that. And if you allow that to happen, shake it off. Tomorrow is a new day. All right, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Be blessed. Be safe. Take in all of this wonderful information and just amazing information, valuable information that all the amazing leaders on Team Eagle, are providing you with, and just put it into action. Don't collect information. If you collect it and you don't execute, then you are not doing anything for yourself or your business. Have a wonderful weekend. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.